The Weight of Quiet Promises, a complete story. It began on a warm September evening in the quiet coastal town of Haven Ridge, where the ocean met the shore with a soft, rhythmic whisper. The Marlowe family home sat on a hill overlooking the water, its wooden porch worn from years of sea breeze and summer storms. On that porch stood Evelyn Marlowe, only 19, with her hair lifted gently by the wind. She watched the horizon fade into hues of orange and rose, unaware that sunset marked not only the end of a day, but the end of a chapter in her life, one she believed was filled with trust and family. Her older cousin Jacob Reed had always been the star of the family, the kind of person adults compared their children to. Driven, intelligent, charismatic in a way that made people lean in when he spoke. To Evelyn, he was more than a cousin. He was a guide. He supported her dreams, told her she had potential, and encouraged her to reach for more than the town of Haven Ridge could offer. So when she finished high school, feeling lost and unsure, Jacob's offer seemed like a blessing. He invited her to join him at Northstone Dynamics, the tech company where he worked in a high-ranking operational role. He promised to help her start her career, to introduce her to real opportunities. And Evelyn, trusting and grateful, accepted with her whole heart. At first, the building alone felt like stepping into the future. Sleek glass, polished marble floors, and employees who walked quickly, with purpose, like the world was waiting for them. Jacob welcomed her warmly, said all she needed to do was help him with tasks, learn the ropes, and wait for HR to finalize her role. Days turned into weeks. Weeks melted into months. And still, there was no contract, no ID badge, no official name under the employee system. Just be patient, Jacob told her. This is temporary. You're doing great. Evelyn believed him because she wanted to believe in something good. She worked long hours, doing everything from organizing reports to handling confidential paperwork. Setting up meetings, even drafting documents Jacob claimed he didn't have time to write. Every time she asked about her status, he smiled and brushed it off. She told herself the job would eventually materialize. She told herself that family never lied. But the truth was quieter, darker, than she imagined. One Friday evening, when the office emptied except for a few lingering employees, she stayed late to finish organizing a project binder Jacob insisted needed to be ready first thing Monday. As she walked down the hallway toward the elevator, she overheard two managers talking. That assistant budget Jacob's been using. One of them whispered, $4,800 a month. For almost a full year? Where is this assistant? I've never seen her. We checked payroll. The money was withdrawn by Jacob himself. It took Evelyn a moment to understand, then another moment to breathe. The funding was meant for her, the salary she never received, the job she never officially had, the trust she gave so freely. Jacob had taken it. All of it. She leaned against the cold wall, her pulse hammering in her ears. It felt as though the floor beneath her had cracked open. The betrayal wasn't just professional. It was personal, deep, vicious. She left the building without finishing the binder, without saying goodbye, without even looking back. That night she barely slept. Every memory of Jacob replayed like a cruel joke. His promises, his smiles, his reassurances. She wondered how long he had planned it, how many times he had used her sincerity to benefit only himself. By morning, her hands still trembled, but something in her spirit had shifted. She walked straight into Northstone Dynamics, asked to meet the head of HR, and told them everything. Her unpaid work, the promises, the funding, the deception. Her voice shook, but she spoke through the fear. She confessed even the parts that made her feel naive. The investigation began immediately. Within 2 weeks, Jacob was removed from his role. He was required to repay the company and charged internally for fraud. His downfall was quiet, without scenes, without drama, just the consequences catching up to a man who never believed they would. Some colleagues whispered that Evelyn had ruined him. Others said she was brave, but she didn't listen to either side. She only wanted the truth to be acknowledged, even if acknowledging it hurt. Then came a surprising turn. The HR director, a woman named Marisol Garner, called her into the office. She spoke gently, with the weight of sincerity. "Evelyn," she said, "we reviewed your performance, your dedication, your work ethic, your courage. We'd like to offer you a real position, a fair salary, and a place to grow." Evelyn accepted, though the wounds of betrayal were still fresh. Over the next months, she rebuilt herself piece by piece. She learned new skills, earned trust through honesty and hard work, and slowly began to feel grounded again. But her story did not end there. The unexpected return. It was a rainy afternoon when her phone buzzed with an unfamiliar number. She almost ignored it, but something nudged her to answer. "Evelyn, it's Jacob." Silence stretched between them like a tight wire. She felt her stomach twist. "I know you hate me," he said quietly, "but please, hear me out." Against her better judgment, she listened. "I messed up," he admitted. "I was drowning in debt. I thought it would be temporary. I thought I'd pay it back before anyone knew. I didn't mean to hurt you, I swear it." His voice cracked, something she had never heard from him. But pain does not erase the truth. Regret does not repair broken trust. "I lost everything," he continued. "I'm leaving town. I wanted to say I'm sorry before I go." Evelyn's throat tightened. For a brief moment, the cousin she once loved flickered through the voice on the phone. But she also knew something important. Forgiveness is not the same as forgetting, and some doors must stay closed. "I hope you find a better path," she said softly. "But what you did, it changed me, Jacob. I can't pretend it didn't." She didn't hang up with anger. She didn't shout. Sometimes the strongest closure is quiet. Jacob left Haven Ridge 2 days later. A new beginning, as time passed. Evelyn's life blossomed in ways she never expected. She earned promotions, respect, and a confidence she once lacked. People admired her resilience, not knowing the full storm she had survived. And then someone new entered her life. His name is Landon Hayes, a data analyst at the company. Thoughtful, patient, observant. He noticed the quiet strength in her, the gentleness mixed with determination. They became friends first, sharing lunches, stories, and small pieces of vulnerability. Over time, friendship grew into something deeper. Landon never pushed, never demanded. He simply stood beside her, steady as the tide. With him, Evelyn learned that not all people betray trust. Some protect it fiercely. She healed not because she forgot the past, but because she finally understood her worth. She learned to trust again, slowly, carefully, beautifully. Years later, Evelyn stood once more on the porch of her family home. The same spot where her journey began, but this time she wasn't alone. Landon stood beside her, his arm around her shoulders, and in her hands she held their newborn daughter. Tiny, warm, full of promise. The ocean breeze felt softer now, almost grateful. She looked out at the water and whispered to the baby, "You will grow strong, my love, and you will know that truth matters, that courage matters, that your worth is never something someone else can decide." The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with a new beginning. Evelyn closed her eyes, feeling peace, real peace, for the first time in years. Final moral of the complete story. Some betrayals break you. Others break you open. In the space where your trust once lived, you may discover courage, self-worth, and a future brighter than the past you lost. And sometimes, the hardest endings are the ones that lead you home.